Malaysia is now entering a critical phase in its defense modernization. One of the most pressing issues is the Royal Malaysian Air Force, or RMAF. Its fleet is aging fast. The Russian-made MiG-29s have already been retired due to high operational costs and poor readiness. The Su-30MKM, once considered a backbone, often suffers from maintenance issues. Only the American-built FA-18D Hornet remains relatively reliable. With these challenges, Malaysia has set a target. By 2040, the RMAF should be flying fifth-generation fighter jets. Among the options being considered, Russia's Su-57 has caught some attention. This fifth-generation stealth fighter is advertised with advanced avionics, sustained supersonic speeds, and heavy weapons capacity. If Malaysia were to acquire it, the country's air power would jump significantly. In fact, it could become the very first nation in Southeast Asia to operate a true fifth-generation fighter. But the reality doesn't look so promising. As of 2025, Russia has fewer than 30 Su-57s actually in service. Production has been slow, plagued by technical setbacks, supply chain disruptions, and the impact of international sanctions following the war in Ukraine. Russia's arms export agency, Rosoboronexport, did offer the Su-57E export version to Malaysia and even promised to showcase it at Lima 2025. Yet the fighter never showed up, fueling doubts about Russia's ability to export the jet anytime soon. Malaysia also has a mixed record with Russian fighters. The Su-30MKM fleet has been notorious for maintenance challenges, at one point with most of the jets grounded. The MiG-29s, meanwhile, were retired early because they were simply too expensive to keep flying. Given this track record, many analysts question whether Malaysia is really ready to handle a far more complex aircraft like the Su-57. Beyond logistics, there's the political risk. Buying major Russian weapons could trigger U.S. sanctions under the CAATSA law. That's a serious concern because Malaysia is currently deepening its economic ties with Washington, especially in the semiconductor and high-tech sectors. Any move that threatens those partnerships could carry heavy costs. Malaysia's strategic position between the West, Russia, and China makes this decision much more complicated than just signing a defense contract. Malaysian media have covered the issue cautiously. Public opinion is split. Some push for faster modernization, while others warn against the risks. Internationally, the Su-57's absence at Lima 2025 raised fresh skepticism about Russia's export capabilities. Regionally, the implications are huge. Indonesia, for example, once considered the Su-35, but backed off under U.S. pressure. If Malaysia moves forward with the Su-57, Indonesia might double down on its KF-21 project with South Korea. Singapore could also accelerate its F-35 program, reshaping the balance of power across Southeast Asia. Malaysia's defense ties with Russia go back decades. In the 1990s, it became one of the first Southeast Asian nations to buy MiG-29s. In 2007, it added the Su-30MKM, which still makes up a key part of the RMAF today. The partnership even extended into space exploration, when Malaysia sent its first astronaut to the International Space Station aboard a Russian mission. But since 2022, global politics have shifted. With sanctions and growing Western pressure, entering new defense deals with Moscow has become far more complicated. In the end, the Su-57 is impressive on paper. But production hurdles, high costs, Malaysia's past struggles with Russian jets, and the risk of U.S. sanctions all make an actual purchase highly unlikely. More realistically, the Su-57 serves as part of defense diplomacy, signaling that Malaysia is open to all options. The real long-term choices may come from elsewhere, whether it's South Korea's KF-21 or Turkey's Kaan, both of which are more politically viable and potentially more affordable. Whatever Malaysia decides, one thing is clear: its next fighter jet won't just shape the RMAF's capabilities, but could also shift the entire security balance of Southeast Asia.